The dashboard of Thanachart iBiz comprises 1. Message center to communicate between bank and customers. 2. Transaction pending action. 3. View account. 4. Foreign exchange rates. Information reporting. This service reports information on the company's accounts, statements, and history of transactions in various forms, such as text, PDF, Word, or .csv. You can safely gain access to this information anytime. You can view financial information as the balance or previous statements upon request. You can keep a record of your financial information in PDF, Word, or Excel format and export it as a .csv to be kept in your financial program. Advantages of information reporting. You can view your financial transactions and history of transactions in real time. You can monitor the balance of every account and the financial status at all times. You can view the movements of the current financial transactions. You can search for financial transactions easily. Reports in the form of Excel, PDF, or Word are available for exporting. You can view all the financial transactions effectively because a history of transactions is also available. Currency exchange rates are displayed and updated in real time. Funds transfer. This funds transfer facilitates the transfer of money from one account to another. In this case, the transfer can be made from one savings or current account to another. The following are services provided: funds transfer within the company, third-party transfer. The transfer can be carried out by specifying the account to be transferred to, transferring funds to the designated account, specifying the amount of funds to be transferred and the specific future date for the transfer can be set, specifying the frequency of transfer, such as weekly or monthly. The system can carry out the transfer immediately on a specific future date, or it can be recurring, such as weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. As for the third-party transfer, you can carry out this by yourself by selecting the menu Third-Party Recipient. Advantages of funds transfer. Increase in business opportunities. Funds transfer within the company or third-party transfer can be carried out easily. A financial transaction can be more flexible. The transfer can be carried out at any time. Facilitate the work. It limits the number of visits and phone calls to the bank. The transfer date can be set in advance or any specified time. You can set your conditions of transfer. For example, 1 to 3 persons are in charge of approving the transfer, or the number of persons who can approve the transfer depends on the amount of money to be transferred. You can maximize the amount of money to be transferred. You can view the history of transfers. Payroll. This new service provided by Thanachart iBiz can process transactions in real time. The financial transactions take effect instantly. Therefore, your employees can get their salary, wages, and other financial benefits on time. You can send the payroll file in advance, pending to be processed on the payroll date. Consequently, your staff will receive their salary on the morning of the payroll date. You can adapt an available template on the Thanachart iBiz system or upload a data file from your own system. All the details of payroll instruction are displayed. You can set up the conditions of consent and monitor pending consent by accessing the Pending Approval menu and previous transactions by accessing the History menu. Advantages of payroll. You can manage your payroll more easily. There is no limit to the amount of money to be transferred. It is convenient and safe. Employees can have their salary on time through more than 2,200 ATMs of the bank nationwide. You can set the payroll date of transfer. You will be informed of the transfer in various types of files. You can set the amount of money to be transferred and the conditions of transfer. Our experienced staff is at your service in terms of the installation of the system and the provision of advice. Direct credit. This service enables you to pay for goods or services on time to partners that have either the bank's saving account or current account to limit a financial transaction paid in cash or by check. The bank will transfer the specified amount of money to the designated account upon your request. You can upload an instruction file or create your own template to process the transfer. Displayed are the details taken from a template. The transaction will be processed upon your approval. Advantages of direct credit. It is easy to operate, the amount of money to be transferred for each transaction is unlimited, and the number of transactions per day is unlimited. It saves time and money because you do not have to pay by check. With one transaction, you can transfer your money to many recipients. It is convenient and safe since you can have your transaction take effect immediately or prior to the due date. As a result, in either case, you can be sure that your payment will be made on time. You will be informed of the report through various types of files. The amount of money to be transferred and the conditions of transfer can be specified. Our experienced staff is at your service in terms of the installation of the system and the provision of advice. Direct debit. This service enables you to collect payments from your customers by debiting from their savings account or current account with their consent. You can create your own template or upload the instruction file to process the payment. The transaction will be processed upon your approval. When the system has processed the data, you will be informed whether the transaction has been completed or rejected. Advantages of direct debit. It is easy to operate, the amount of money to be debited for each transaction is unlimited, and the number of transactions per day is unlimited. The payment can be made in full or partially. You can collect the payment on time. It saves time and expenses on reminding your customers about their pending payments. You will be informed of the report on debits through various types of files. The amount of money to be debited and the conditions of debit can be specified. Our experienced staff is at your service in terms of the installation of the system and the provision of advice. Bulk payment, smart credit. You can have your money transferred to pay for your goods and services, as well as salary, bonuses, and dividends to recipients who have savings or current accounts belonging to any bank. Thanachart Bank will perform the transfers according to your requirements. You can upload the instruction file to process the transfer. The file contains all details related to this service. The complete transactions will be processed upon your approval. Advantages of bulk payment. It is easy to operate. The transfer is performed according to your requirements to many recipients at one time whose accounts do not belong to Thanachart Bank. The recipients do not have to open an account with Thanachart Bank. It saves time and expenses because you do not have to pay by check. You will be informed of the report through various types of files. The amount of money to be transferred and the conditions of transfer can be specified. Our experienced staff is at your service in terms of installation of the system and the provision of advice. Botnet. You can have your money transferred from Thanachart Bank to another bank that is a member of Botnet in Thailand. The payee can receive the money on the same day that the transaction is effective. This service is suitable for those who would like to have their high-value funds transferred in a rapid and safe manner. You can create a recipient botnet by selecting Manage Botnet Recipient. Create Botnet Recipient. Create Botnet Transaction. Specifying the account to be transferred from. Transferring funds to the designated botnet recipient. Specifying the amount and your tax ID. The complete transactions will be processed upon your approval. Advantages of botnet. It is convenient because the payee does not have to have a Thanachart account. It is safe because you do not have to carry a large amount of money to the bank, and the payee can receive his or her money on the same day of the transfer. There is no limit for the amount of money to be transferred or the number of financial transactions per day. Bill payment. You can have your goods and services paid 24 hours a day. You can use this service to pay your water, electricity, telephone, the internet, an insurance premium, hire purchase property, a credit card, immovable property, a financial institution or a trust fund management company, an educational institution, taxes, a cooperative, a foundation, and others. You can manage merchant frequently used by selecting Manage Payee. Create available payee by selecting Payee Groups and Payee which show by service code. Specified payee name and reference which depend on payee. Create bill payment transaction. Specifying the account to be transferred from. Transferring funds to the designated payee. Specifying the amount and the specific future date for the payment can be set. Specifying the frequency of transfer, such as weekly or monthly. The complete transactions will be processed upon your approval. Advantages of bill payment. Various services are available. You can adjust both the amount of money to be paid and the conditions of payment. You can choose to pay in bulk at one time or in a recurring manner, such as weekly, monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, or yearly. Wire transfer. You can have your money transferred from Thanachart Bank to any bank worldwide through our partners. Therefore, this will make your foreign financial transactions easier. You can create a recipient and destination bank by selecting Wire Transfer Recipient and Wire Transfer Bank. Create Destination Bank. Create Recipients. Create Wire Transfer Transaction. Specifying the account to be transferred from. Specifying the currency, amount, and exchange rate type. Specifying commission. Transferring funds to the designated recipient. The complete transactions will be processed upon your approval. Advantages of bill payment. The money will be transferred through such standardized systems as SWIFT. You can scrutinize the history of each financial transaction. You can add, edit, or delete a recipient and destination bank by yourself.